if if I enter short here, because we have a breakdown on this bar below support, and according to our breakdown rules, we want to enter on a pullback up to the real body of this first green bar above broken support, which is now resistance. And as we see here, we did just that, and now we're coming down. But now, as far as our dynamic support and resistance, let's get rid of a couple of these lines so we can see a little bit more clearly here. Now, on the way down here, where is our next level of support? It's going to be the low of this bar, this news bar. Remember, we're incorporating a dynamic support and resistance into our swing lows and resistance. Swing lows and swing highs, support and resistance, excuse me. And now, if I entered short on this trade, my profit would be at next support. Remember, as I always tell you, that when you're in a trade, you want to take profit, your next profit, at next support or resistance. If you're short, you want to take profit at the very next support level. If you're long, you want to take profit at the very next resistance level above your entry. And then you want to, if I wanted to still play this down move, I would have to wait for a breakout or breakdown below the low of this bar. And it's not just this bar. Once you have a breakdown below support or a breakout above resistance, and we've been looking at closing highs and closing lows, well, your next level is the shadow. On a down move, okay, the low of that shadow, that's going to be your next level of support. If we're going up, if this was an upward shadow, let's just say this was a green bar, for example, if this bar was green, okay, and we had a close above the real body or a close above here, then the next level of resistance would be the high of the shadow. So if when you're, and I'm not sure if I really covered this too much with you before, but anytime you're playing a breakout and we get a breakout above that closing high or breakdown below that closing low, okay, if you don't get a close below that shadow or a close above that shadow, it's time to get out. But let's just say I had some ambiguity about getting out on this bar or getting out at this next level of support here, because once again, it's dynamic. Okay, now as I state, we want to incorporate all of our rules. And when I look at this bar and we did close just below support here, but when we look here, we see we had lower volume. So myself, I would get out. If I didn't get out when price touched support here, I would have gotten out at the close of this bar simply because we had lower volume. Now, yes, we see that this next bar did continue down a bit and continued down nicely. Okay, but we're talking about safety. And if you want to take a chance and go for it, and you go for it, but many times it'll bounce here because that lower volume tells you that the market wants to try to turn, or is going to prepare to turn. and we would have gotten lucky here, and in a few sections down the road you're going to know why this bar continued down here, because there's something that I really haven't covered with you yet, and it's time. But we're going to see later down the road why this bar did continue down. But we want to go one step at a time and one concept at a time. And so now we've incorporated our dynamic support and resistance with our swing support and resistance. But I'm running out of time on this section, and we will pick up in the next section. We will continue our discussion in section 8 on dynamic support and resistance and the rule of threes. So I'll see you in next section, section 8.